Good morrow, my fellow Ubertarians. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to a brand new Unity 3D tutorial. And what we're going to do in this tutorial is fix a couple of bugs in our space script. And then I'm going to... yeah, we're just going to fix a couple of bugs, basically. So, the first bug we're going to fix is when we click play, you can see that we can see our character. We don't want that. Now, there's two key ways we could fix... well, three key ways. First one is we could delete our character. That always works. Second way, we could manually script it in our get script ship. We could manually script it to move it backwards. Now that works too, but then what happens when we have giant ships? It's not going to work at all. So the best way I'm going to teach you is layers, which we've never covered before. Layers are super simple if you break it down. If you have some random teacher who tells you and then you sit there and you don't know, then he carries on, which I learned it from, is very hard, but I'm going to show you the easy way. And I'm going to show you in Photoshop, which is a weird thing, but it's the same. So say, our first layer is called default. So we'll paint some ships, and we'll paint like a little ship, an army scene, like, yeah, ship, pew, 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 and then we've got some more ships. There's our default scene. So the camera, or us, can see everything, can't we? So if we add another layer, and we'll call this water, and we just colour it blue, there, add some water, right, we've got some water. We can still see everything. But what about if we wanted to restrict something we couldn't see? So say we put another layer on, and we'll call it player. And in this layer, we'll put it as red, in fact green's more like your colour. And then we'll put our ship here. Ship, yes, ship. I've noticed I say that very weirdly. But we'll just colour it in. There's our ship. But it's covering half of it up, so we don't want to see our ship. So what we want to do is basically say our camera can see every single layer except player. Then it's still there. It's still there. If we were to disable the camera and add another one, it's still there. But the camera can't see it. And you may think, well, what's the point of having it there if the camera can't see it? Well, all it takes is a flick of a button for you to activate cutscenes so you can see your character. You click off it and it works. Really simple. So, Unity, by default, can see every layer. So if we click everything there, just to make sure, it sees default, it sees water, it sees all of them. Transparent FX is basically GUI. So let's add another layer. So if we go to layer and go add layer, and you'll see it takes us to our tag section, but below that, if you close it, you've got layers right here. And in user layer 8, because you can't do none of the 7, we're simply going to type player. Now I wouldn't use layers for absolutely everything, because I think you only get a maximum of 31 end of. In fact, you probably don't even get that, you probably get like 23 minus the 7 or something. But yeah, so if we type player there, and go to our main camera, and on culling mask, click it and untick player. It'll change to mix, so it's not got player there anymore. So we can still see our ship, but we need to assign the layer to it. Now there's two key ways we can do this. We can do it by scripting, or we can do it by the prefab. I'm going to show you both ways just because. So scripting, really, I mean, well, they're both really easy, but prefabs are easier for some. So if you click both your ships, and we go layer at the top, and choose player. Do you want to attach player to all children objects? No, this object only. So it shouldn't be able to see it, hopefully. Really simple, right? So let's show you how to script it as well. So if we go to our character, and go to our get ship, which is the one which spawns ships, right above the destroy but below everything else, we're going to type the name of our spawn, and we're going to put .layer. And then we're going to set it to, now you'd think we'd set it to player, right? But Unity works layers in, what is it, numbers, integers, right here. So instead of calling it player, we call it 8. Now I don't know if there is a way you can do it with string, but I'm just going to type 8. It seems a lot easier than looking, and like 8, easy. But yeah, so now that'll set spawn ship to layer 8. And that's it. We've done. So if we click play, you'll see we can't see our ship when it loads, of course. we can't see it. We can still control, move backwards and forwards, we can't see it. But if we go back to our scene, it had to do that, didn't it? But if we go back to our scene, you can still see it. It's still there. We can still move around. So it works. So mission accomplished. So our next error is that we can't fire. And now this is a very simple error to fix. And we can actually fix it in two ways. Well, when we fire it throws an error saying it's not being assigned. And that's because if we go back to our character, space fire, we've not got no arrays there. Now, if we were to just assign it, like so, you'll see it works fine, right? Look, no more errors. So we need to make it assign, we need to link it somehow. Now, since we've called it the same, it's a bit hard to do, but there's a really easy way to do it. So if we go back to the SKU and select both of our weapons spawn points, we can go to tags, and you can see we aren't going to tag to support it yet. So we're going to add our own tag, seeing as we can have unlimited tags. So we're going to type ship weapon spawn. In fact, weapon spawn point. So we're not tagging every single thing, we're only tagging our spaceships ones, and maybe our land ones one day. The SKU, so we can drag that back in, delete the SKU, drag the Andromeda Tiger out, find its points, there, select all of them and tag it. Boom. And now all we're going to do is run a simple for loop to find every object with a tag and then add it all to an array. Really simple again. So I'm going to show you how to do it, but then I'm going to show you a backup loop of which we need to do as well. So I'm going to go to our character here and I'm going to find our space fire. And what I'm going to do is, instead of putting it in function start or anything, I am going to create a function start, but I'm going to put nothing in for now. And below it I'm going to type function load spawn points, and in here is where I'm going to type it. Just thinking to myself, I've been studying C# Unity for a while and it looks so wrong that it just looks so weird, but yeah, so much easier sometimes. But still, in here we're going to type var, and then we'll call it temp, in fact spawn points, equals game object dot find objects with tag. I believe it's that. Well, it seems to like it, so yes. So we can click bracket, and in here I'm going to type our tag name, which is I forgot. So if we go there, weapon spawn point, yeah. So weapon, and we can exit it off. So that should create an array of every single weapon tag, well, object what's got that. Easy enough. So down here we're going to type bullet spawn points. So we're going to get rid of this equals new game object. So bullet spawn points equals new game object, and then in the bracket we're going to put spawn points dot length. And what that should do is set bullet spawn points in the inspector or not to the same length as that whenever we call it. So if we were to copy this and paste it in here and semicolon, hopefully that should work. But one thing we're going to do, we're going to create a little for loop. So for var I equals 0, I is less than. We've done this 1,000 times. For loops are amazing. And it's less than spawn points dot length. So we find 2 spawn points, it's 2, 3, 3, stuff like that. And I++. So we're going to set it to bullet spawn points I equals spawn points I. And I think that should just link it. Easy enough, right? So if we click play, that should hopefully set that to wherever it should be. And you can see we've got an error. So if we go back to our script and just take out objects. So game object.find with tag. In fact, put that back in it and type game objects. I had to Google that one then. I haven't done this for a long time. But yeah, so that should now create an array of every single object with a tag. So as soon as it spawns, it should create it. But this is where the error comes in, which you will see in a minute. It shouldn't do anything. As you can see, it's found none. But yet we know if we go back to the SKU they're right there. And the reason is, it's calling this script before this one. So it spawns, find weapons, it doesn't find it, then spawn the ship. Which of course is a big no-no. So what we've got to do is copy load spawn points, and now you'll see why we do this, and literally paste it in here. So GameObject.find character dot get component. Oh, this is where C# messes up, because you have to put it in there and then put brackets, but in JavaScript you just put whatever. So in here we'll type what's it called, space fire dot load spawn points, and then it'll create the ship, say right, find it all, assign it, click 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 after it's already done it. So now it should create a brand new one for us. So you did see how it reduced it to 0, so it is changing the size of it. So when it loads, we've done this so many times with the inspector, it's unreal. There, we click fire, boom. But if we were to load the Andromeda Tiger, it would work perfectly. How good's that then? So let's just test that theory. So right here it spawns get ship, which equals miss components entity starts. It's not scrolling across. Player.current ship. So we have to rename it, but okay, we'll not do it. It works fine. We've seen it. So the next tutorial for this will be up at the same time as this roughly, because I'm recording it right after. And if you're wondering why I'm doing that, have a look, because it's no scripting involved. Okay, I'm lying. It might have some scripting involved in order to export it, but when you see it, you'll be so happy. But it will be really good. It's something what needs to be done early on, because a lot of people are working ahead past these tutorials and they don't know how to do it yet. So I know it's really simple, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So check out next tutorial. Please thumbs up this tutorial. I know it's not the best tutorial, but it's layers and stuff. It's good. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.